What's going on? It's Daniel again. Yep, you know it. On the dyno doing more testing for you guys. Today, got DAS exhaust versus the monster slip-on that we had on here previously. So we were talking today about, is a full system worth the gains over a slip-on on a relatively stock bike? So let's get into it. All right, so full system versus slip-on. And this kind of goes for a few of the top brands here at this level. Versus the majority of, pretty much every slip-on versus, top three brands on full systems. So this bike only has an intake, fuel customs intake, has a power commander, fuel and ignition control. We're mapping that as we go to get these results. So if you see here, in blue we have the monster slip-on, which is going to be relative to all the other slip-ons on the market, really. Your HMF, your FMF, all in that, all those pipes, GYTR, all those pipes are all going to be the same on slip-on, or very close. So, because they're all dealing with the stock header, and there's not much you can do after that stock header. So, in comparison there, as a baseline for slip-on in the blue versus in the red, we are looking at this one's a DASA full system. And we are only seeing, I don't know, horse and a half. Let's call it a horse and a half. So is a horse and a half gain worth the extra money? And what we are seeing here is the bottom end, that roll in, you can kind of throw that away. That's just roll in different areas, the 3200 and below. But from that range all the way up to 5,000, that is identical. So horsepower to that range is the same. Over 5,000 we start seeing gains, and that is where that is bumping up. I'm trying not to shake the camera here too much. So we are seeing 2 horsepower gain at 6,000 RPM. And as we continue to go up, let's look at 7,000 RPM. We are seeing 2 horsepower gain there. Torque is coming with it too. Seeing gains in torque as well. We get up to 8,000 RPM, and now we're seeing 3 and change. We get out here toward 9,000 RPM. Let's go back a little bit, and we are seeing 7 horsepower. So that peak number here is not really showing huge gains in peak, or there. Here's our peak point change. But as you continue over the power curve, you're gaining a ton out here in the top end. So if you're trail riding, not doing much with the bike, only using the lower throttle ranges, then you're not going to see a bunch of gain. You're going to see a huge increase in torque or anything like that. Now we'll test as we go. We'll start testing different brand exhaust systems and get to the monster full system. But on this setup with the DASA on here versus the slip-on, we're seeing gains in the mid around peak power, and in the top end start seeing a huge gain. So what we start doing though is start fixing this huge drop off in power. So as we increase airflow, get this engine running better and happier, we're making more and more usable, broader power band. So our power range when we're above, I don't know, let's say our above 50 mark, they both kind of cross over in that same range at 5,400. But now, oh my goodness, this camera. Now the bike's making that 50 horsepower range all the way out to 8,000 versus only to 7,200. So it's picking up 800 RPM at that same horsepower level. above 50. So that's where it's kind of a huge deal to go to the full system. Opens up power for additional modifications down the road, and on we go to make more power. So still looking at a stock bike here, making 54 horsepower with just intake exhaust fuel controller, which is really big considering most of your 450 stuff is gonna make 47 horsepower with intake exhaust fuel controller, the best intake exhaust fuel controller for those pipes, so, or for those machines. So here we're just doing preliminary test, and all right, so that is it for now. Running out of fuel on the bike, so we'll go get some fresh fuel again and continue on. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for watching. Hit us up if you need some parts to make your machine run how you want it. So, alright, bye.